Welcome to Disciple Dojo. You guys keep asking, so I keep relenting. Here is another chiasm that is worth noting in the book of Deuteronomy. Now, as we saw in our last video where we marked the structure of Deuteronomy in my new travel Bible, and I'll be marking this chiasm in here as well, this comes at the end of the fourth section of the treaty covenant structure of Deuteronomy. So this is right after the blessings and the curses. And then the next part would be calling of the witnesses and arrangement for copies of the covenant to be made and deposited in the temples of the various gods of the different parties. And we see that in chapter 30 and 31. But right at the beginning of chapter 30, there's a really cool chiasm. It's this section where, well, let me just show you. So this is in my main large study Bible, my teaching Bible. And I've done the chiasm here. You can see A, B, C, D, C, B, A, and I've done them in different colors. But it begins with the A section. Chapter 30, when all these blessings and curses I have set before you come upon you, and you take them to heart wherever the Lord your God disperses you among the nations, and when you and your children return to the Lord your God, and then it would continue. Well, that's mirrored down here at the very end of it, at the end of 30. It ends with, and turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. So it begins, turn to the Lord your God, ends with turn to the Lord your God. Then the next part, this B section of the chiasm, and obey him with all your heart and with all your soul according to everything I command you today. And then the B section here, if you obey the Lord your God and keep his commands and decrees that are written in the book of the law. So obey, obey, turn, turn. And then the C section, kind of the two on either half of the midpoint, says, then the Lord your God will restore your fortunes and have compassion on you and gather you again from all the nations where he scattered you. Even if you have been banished to the most distant land under the heavens, from there the Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. He will bring you to the land that belonged to your fathers, and you will take possession of it. He will make you more prosperous and numerous than your fathers. So this promise of blessings on the other side, when they return to the Lord, that's mirrored down here in verse 7. The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies who hate and persecute you. You will again obey the Lord and follow all his commands I am giving you today. Then the Lord your God will make you most prosperous in all the work of your hands and the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock and the crops of your land. The Lord will again delight in you and make you prosperous, just as he delighted in your fathers. So this idea of prospering, the land belonging to your fathers, just as he delighted in your fathers, the prospering of covenant obedience is on either side. And then the midpoint of the chiasm right here, verse 6, the Lord your God will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your seed, sometimes translated descendants like here, but it's the word seed, so that you may love him with all your heart and with all your soul and live. And so that's at the center of this sort of restatement of the covenant. The whole goal, remember with chiasms, the center point is the key. The whole goal of the covenant is so that you will have your heart circumcised, you and your seed, all Israel, and ultimately culminating in the true seed of Israel, so that you may love with all your heart, with all your soul, and live. This is why the covenant was given to begin with. It's the culmination. So this is just a cool mini chiasm in this section right here, just after the blessing and curses, sort of summing up the heart of what God is trying to do. And literally the heart of what God's trying to do. He wants people with circumcised hearts, not just outwardly circumcised, not outwardly ethnically Jewish identified or covenant people identified, but in their hearts. That is the goal of Deuteronomy. That's the goal of the covenant. That's the goal of the entire Old Testament. And that's what God promised one day, because it didn't happen, that he would make, as Jeremiah 31 and Ezekiel 36 say, a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. And he'll remove their heart of stone and give them a heart of flesh. Or he'll write his commandments, his Torah, on their hearts and move them to follow his decrees. And notice that this happens after the people have broken the covenant, been dispersed in judgment. Then as part of the gathering them back in, drawing Israel back to their covenant identity, will center around having their hearts circumcised. So the New Testament looks back at passages like this and says, that's the gospel. That's what Jesus is doing. It's all focused on him. Jesus is the seed. If you want to know why that's important, check out the video we have here on the channel. I argue it is the most important concept in all of biblical theology, Jesus as Israel. If you're skeptical of that claim, watch the video first. I'll link it below in the description down below, and you can tell me what you think after you've watched it. But anyway, I'm just going to mark this. I want to transfer because this is an important chiasm to have in mind. So I'm going to transfer it into my travel Bible. And so there you go. This is now marked in my study Bible. And whenever I'm flipping through trying to find a key section in the Old Testament, and particularly Deuteronomy, I can see right at a glance, and I can lead people that I'm teaching or speaking to through the chiasm very easily and naturally. So there you go, my Prismacolors and the chiasm in Deuteronomy 30, one of the most important passages in the Old Testament. I hope this was helpful. If it was, we'd love for you to subscribe. If you haven't already, click the notifications icon. Also, just a reminder, while supplies last, for new dojo donors, so we are funded by monthly donors, and what we're doing is wanting to give a little something thank you to those who become monthly dojo donors. So if you want to support this ministry, we'd love to send you one of these Disciple Dojo patches. You see them on my hats in a lot of the videos. We'd love to send you one in whichever of the two colors you choose. All you have to do, become a monthly donor, whatever dollar amount, any dollar amount, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then when you do, email me through the contact form on our website and just say, hey, I'm a dojo donor and I would love to get a patch, either the dark brown or the off-white, and I'll send one to you. And of course, if you're already a dojo donor and you want a patch, same thing. Just send me a message through the contact form on the website. Love to get one in the mail to you. That's all for this time. We'll see you back here next time at Disciple Dojo for more Bible tips. As always, keep training.